So most people stop at the first AI draft, and that's a mistake. And so with just a tiny edit or a quick regenerate, you could actually turn good enough into content that actually performs. And so today I'm going to show you how. So we got this pulled up. I've got Alphana here. You know, these insider live sessions, we always jump in, show you a little bit of how to use AI and platforms like ours, like Alphana, to be able to take your content to the next level. Today, we're going to really help you to refine content, see how you can get something from a draft into something that you can put into production. And so it's something that we see with a lot of people. And so we're just going to iterate a little bit today. I'm inside of Alphana. And so the first thing we're going to do, obviously, is we're going to create a project. Now, when you pop this open and you click create, this shows you all the different cards and templates that we have in our library. Before I do that, what I want to do is actually bring in some video content so that we can analyze that video and be able to leverage it to create more content from it. So for those of you that are new, you could actually pull in a YouTube link. You can upload a video from one of your devices or Google Drive, Dropbox, and OneDrive. But today we're going to actually pull in from our existing library so I don't have to re-upload a video again. And so I have different videos here inside of my library. I'm going to pull up this one. This video, this one was from a session that I did last week, which was about reusing your best clips. Now we have this new upload button, so I'm just going to hit create. When I hit create, it loads the video now into the project so that now we could just select the content that we want to create. Now, there's a ton of things that we could do, okay? But we're going to start a little bit slower today. And one of the things that we're going to pull up together is we're going to try to create some content that we can release on platforms. One of the ones that we're going to use today is for Instagram as an example. And so one of the things that I thought we could do is like, all right, if I've got a video and I want to create content for Instagram, we should probably start with the hook, right? The hook is the first 3 to 5 seconds of either a video of whatever you're saying or the first line inside of a post that's going to grab that person's attention. And so that's what we're going to do is we're going to come in here and I'm going to look for a hook card, and we've got a whole series of them. These are videos cards to be able to find hooks from the video. But what I want to do is actually generate a brand new one. And actually, let me just type Instagram hook. We have 2 different versions. We're actually going to remove one, but let me show you what we've got here. So this is the one. We're going to be removing this one later. So we've got 2 different hook cards. I'm going to go ahead and select this one and I'm going to click next. And in this case, I'm going to skip generating. I'm just going to go ahead and generate the skip editing the transcript. We're just going to hit generate at the bottom here. So what we're doing is we're taking the video, we're analyzing it, transcribing it. And in this case, I already have it transcribed because it's a previously uploaded video. And so we're just going to get right to it. We're going to, based on the context of the video, we're going to come up with a series of 10 different hooks that can be used for Instagram to be able to capture a user's attention. And so this usually takes a couple seconds to a minute to be able to generate. And we show you everything live on screen. So you'll see here. And check this out. These are all hooks that you can use based on video content you've already created. Look at that. And these are all inspired by insights from the video. So it's going to be relatable. It's going to be about the content, right? This is a video I put out last week. Fantastic. And now I've got 10 beautiful hooks that we can use. Let's just go over a couple of these examples. So the first one, most people don't know how to talk to AI. Do you? That will capture somebody, right? It depends on the prompt. So we got one. The second one, ever wonder why some prompts just don't work? Boom, capture that reader in. The next one, the smartest approach to prompts might surprise you. The fourth one, what's the secret to mastering AI conversations? Find out here. Or short clips, big impact, why they're key to engagement. Or can 3 seconds really change your content game? The formula for hooks that actually work. Struggling with prompts? You're not alone. Here's the fix. Are generic prompts ruining your AI results? Why clear prompts matter more than you think. So as you can see, right, I just read off 10 different prompts, hooks that were generated all from this one video, right? So I've got plenty to choose from. But let's just say I'm not as happy with these hooks, right? That's okay, right? Some people may want to change it, right? And there's 2 things that I would recommend you can do to be able to tailor these hooks a little bit differently, right? So I love these hooks. I think there's a couple great ones in here and I can actually spiral and turn these into unique content, right? But you know what? I'm just going to click this button here that says regenerate. Boom, hit that once. And then right here, it's going to confirm that I want to regenerate because again, I'm going to lose some of these, right? So maybe I should screenshot it. I'll screenshot it for now. I'm going to hit regenerate. and I'm going to see what it comes up with. This is the quickest way to tell our AI, hey, this wasn't what I was looking for. I want you to try again, right? Just hit the regenerate button. Now what it's going to do, it's going to reanalyze the video and it's going to try to come up with new versions of the hooks. All right. Some it might be a little bit similar and some a little bit different. That happens, but let's check it out. Here's one. This one's kind of repetitive. The smartest prompts aren't the longest. They're the clearest. Boom. This is a new prompt that it gave me. Why clear prompts matter when talking to AI. Beautiful. Think your prompts are good? Let's find out. Stop wasting time. Here's how to master prompts. So if you notice what it did is it redrafted the majority of the prompts in there. But here's what I liked about what this session did, right? It actually kept the first two. These were the first two, I think, in the original version. Why? Because they're pretty good hooks, right? They are pretty good hooks that can be leveraged in content. You could put that in a post. You could say it out loud. And especially if this is your audience talking about AI, how to do prompting or anything like that, this is going to capture the reader. So guess what? It put those two back in there, but it came up with new variations of hooks that you can leverage to be able to create content. So these are just, this is one of the ways that I would say is go ahead and when you create any piece of content, and again, we have a library of over 100 different types of content, from hooks to blogs to newsletters that you could generate. It doesn't really matter. The regenerate button allows you to tell the AI, this is not exactly what I was looking for. Just take another stab at it, right? Beautiful. What's the second way, right? Let's go ahead and hit edit. If I hit edit, we actually show you the prompt that was used to be able to create the content that you see inside of these AI cards, okay? In this case, I have a short prompt in here, okay? It's not as detailed, and you'll see some more detailed prompts that I have later. This one just says, based on the video transcript or text context, generate 10 Instagram hooks to engage the audience in 12 words or less. The hook should feel punchy, fun, or intriguing enough to stop the viewer from scrolling. It should feel native to the Instagram platform. Perfect. So what did it do? It did exactly that. It gave me my 10 Instagram hooks in 12 words or less. But let's make some changes, right? There's a couple things that we could do when changing on prompts. You could do things like changing the length. Maybe we don't like the length of what these hooks are. We could change the tone, right? Maybe we want it written a little bit differently, right? There's so many options of what we could do to be able to change the content just by making these tiny adjustments, right? So what I would say is, let's adjust, for example, instead of 12 words or less, I might say, hey, make it 8 words or less, right? Let's try to get them even more concise. And I could say the hook should feel punchy, fun, or intriguing enough to stop from scrolling. It should feel native to the Instagram platform. Maybe for tone, we could say the tone should be playful. That's one adjustment. There's another adjustment I want to do, but I'm going to show you what this looks like a little bit before. So number one, we're going to go a little bit shorter and we're going to try to make the tone playful. I'm just going to go ahead and hit generate and we're going to see these changes live and in action. Okay. Let's see if it did it, right? Most people don't know how to talk to AI. Short clips, big impact. Are you using them? How to prompt write, AI in seconds. Yeah. So maybe the playful part didn't go in, but as you can see, all of these are even more concise than what they were before, right? But let's change it a little bit, right? Let's forget the whole playful thing. One of the things that I would say is if you want to make your hooks even better is that it's got to actually talk to somebody. So if you notice in any one of these prompts, right? Ever wonder why your prompts don't work? The smartest approach to AI, why clear prompts are your secret power. Okay, who's the audience? Who am I talking to here? Who's most people, right? We're talking about the entire world, right? There's what, over 8 billion people in this world, right? So that needs some work. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to click edit and we're going to say generate 10 Instagram hooks to engage the audience. I'm going to put it back to 12, just the way I had it before. The hook should feel punchy, fun, and intriguing. I'm going to take out the tone for a second. We're going to go back to what it was before. And what I'm going to say is assume the audience is, and we could try different things. We're going to say the audience is a musician, okay? Or maybe a music artist, right? So let's try that and see what this does. I'm going to go ahead and hit generate. Okay, here we go. Yes, okay. This is what we wanted to do. Notice what's happening here. All of this now is targeting artists, musicians, bands, right? Look at this. Look at how the hooks are completely different now. What's stopping your music from going viral? Let's fix it now. Your next big hit could be just one step away. Struggling to get noticed? Here's the secret sauce for artists, right? Want fans to hit replay? Here's how to hook them instantly. From unknown to unforgettable, this is your moment to shine. Think your music's good? Let the world decide. Start here, right? Because in this video, we're talking about hooks. We're talking about generating content. We're trying to iterate and come up with captions and all that stuff, right? And your outcome is if you want to get it out in the world, right? This is a way to be able to hook them in to be able to watch your content. Why most artists fail at Instagram and how you won't, right? Because in the video, we're also talking about Instagram. So this is something that's important. Or for example, how I turned my tracks into a fan magnet. Your turn next, because you can actually upload content, and that's what I was talking about in the video, and how you could use that to be able to attract an audience. In this case, we're talking about music fans, right? Artists are trying to attract music fans. Beautiful. But let's say I did the same thing, and instead I'm saying, assuming the audience is a music artist, what if I said the audience is our fitness coaches, right? Perfect. I'm going to go ahead and hit generate. Let's see what this comes up with for our hooks. So now we are adapting the hooks, completely different. Now this is made for fitness coaches. We know who we are talking about. Struggling with consistency. This tip will change your fitness game. All right. 3 workout mistakes you're probably making right now. All right, here's the next one. The secret to faster results, it's simpler than you think. Or why your workouts aren't working, here's how to fix it. How I built strength and confidence in just 30 days. Beautiful. Now I want this to be able to actually leverage more insights from the post, right? So if I come in here, I'm going to say instead of saying just assume the audience, I want to say adapt the content from the video transcript to target fitness coaches, okay? Because I don't want to just talk about workouts. I want to adapt it. And so I'm doing this live with you. Let's see how this performs. But this is how we iterate to make sure that we are getting the content the way we want it written, and we are adapting it to the audiences that we're speaking to. And we also want to make sure that it's all relevant, right? Let's see if this made it a little bit better, right? Struggling to keep clients engaged. Here's the fix in seconds. Not bad, but let's see. The secret to creating scroll-stopping reels every fitness coach needs. Okay, next one. Want more gym signups? Start with the simple content hack. Why I obliterated that one. Want more gym signups? Start with this simple content hack. And then what else? Your next viral post might be hiding in your last video. Stop wasting time. Learn how to create content that converts now. Okay, now these hooks are doing what it needs to do, right? Because it's doing a few things. Number one, these are all insights that we're talking about inside of the video. But in this video, I talk nothing about fitness coaches, okay? But there's still insights that are relevant to them. How they can keep clients, how they can do viral posts, how they can, the 3-second rule and why it's key for their fitness marketing. And so if I'm trying to target fitness coaches, I want to make sure that the content of what I do as a business or as a coach or as a freelancer or as an agency, whatever I do, has to be able to hit home to my audience. And that's how it looks like for fitness coaches, right? So let's go ahead now and grab one of these. We're going to pick one of our favorite. Let's pick one of our favorite hooks in here, or just one that might work. I'm going to say, let's see, stop wasting time. The 3-second rule, what's key to your fitness marketing, right? The 3-second rule, that's catchy. It's got a number. Tells me what's there, and we're talking about fitness marketing. So fitness coaches, here's how to grab attention in 5 seconds flat. Don't let your content flop. Your Instagram post should work as hard as you do. So I'm going to go ahead with the 3-second rule. We're going to try this one. But the first thing I want to do is I want to create some captions on this, right? So I'm going to go hooks. I'm going to click add card. And again, we have an entire library. And so what I want to find is an Instagram caption. I think it is this one. Here we go. And we're going to generate a Instagram caption, right? Because now I've got this video. I've got some hooks that I like. I'm going to create an Instagram caption. We're going to refine it. And what I'm going to do with that Instagram caption is actually ask it to use a hook that was already generated, right? Look at this. All right. So Instagram caption, it did it pretty generic. It said, ever wonder why some prompts just don't work? Again, a good hook, but it didn't tell me the audience, right? But let's just read the rest of it. It's all about how you say it. Today, I realized that crafting the perfect message isn't just about the words. It's about understanding what truly grabs attention and drives action. Whether it's creating Instagram captions or finding hooks in videos, the secret lies in connecting with your audience in those first few seconds. We've all been there, staring at a blank screen, trying to come up with something that clicks. It's a universal struggle. But here's the good news. Tools like Alphana make it so much easier to create content that resonates. What's the best hook or caption you've ever seen? Drop it below. I'd love to hear your thoughts. And then it drops a couple hashtags that you can use. So overall, this is a pretty good caption. I could even read this out loud. I'll even cut this as a clip and put this on Instagram, right? Why not? As a short. But now I'm going to put my hat on, right, as a company that's targeting fitness coaches, because this is what we were doing in this last one, right? We targeted artists and musicians. Now we just did a version that did fitness coaches, and I'm going to try to tweak it. Okay. So I'm going to, great. I'll screenshot it in case I wanted it, but I'm going to come back here. Let's 3-second rule. We're going to grab that one. I'm going to click edit. Now, when I click edit, I have an entire prompt already written in here. This is a much longer, more constructed prompt that's going to yield a very specific result, right? You could see that I went very in depth when crafting this particular prompt, because we're telling it, hey, based on the video transcript, generate an Instagram caption that's scroll stopping, feels native to the platform, and I break out the components of it. I say, hey, the hook, we want to make sure it's punchy and fun. It should feel native. Then go into the story or an insight, which is the main body of the post. And it gives an example. And then it's like, okay, give it a relatable connection and a call to action, right? So in this example, we now have all the instructions that we want. But I want to come over here and say, okay, for the prompt, instead of creating one, I'm going to actually delete this and say, use this hook for the caption. And then I pasted it. And now it says the 3-second rule, why it's key to your fitness marketing. Perfect. And then over here, I'm going to say instructions, make sure to adapt the content to fitness coaches while leveraging the insights from the transcript. So I'm just giving it a little bit more context. And then I'm going to go ahead and hit generate. And now what we're going to do is we're actually going to rewrite what this draft is. Okay. I didn't hit generate, did I? Yeah, I missed hitting generate. All right, one more time. I shouldn't have closed it. All right, let's do this. Paste it here. I'm saying use this hook. And at the bottom, I'm going to say make sure to adapt this caption to fitness coaches while leveraging the insights from the video transcript. And copying just in case. Let me hit generate. All right, now I hit generate. Give that a second. And now it's going to generate a new Instagram caption. We are refining this Instagram caption to be towards my audience. And what's great is after we're done with this caption, we're going to generate some images that you can use to post on Instagram as a carousel. So now we're going to have content to go along with this caption. But let's first make sure we got the right caption before we actually create the content. So let's look at this, right? Instagram caption. The 3-second rule, why it's key to your fitness marketing. Ever feel like your content isn't grabbing attention fast enough? Today, I realize how critical those first few seconds are. Imagine this, you're scrolling through Instagram and within moments, you decide whether to stop or keep going. That's exactly what your audience feels too. So I've been working on creating Instagram posts that only stop and scroll, use these tools. So I'm just kind of skimming through this. And, sometimes I say that AI is like a child and, you gotta get them to do it one more time. So we're going to just go ahead and hit regenerate. And see if it tailors the rest of the post to make sure that we're targeting fitness coaches, right? So hit regenerate, and we're going to give this a shot. By the way, any questions, please go ahead and drop it into the chat comments. I'm not seeing the changes. I should put it at the top. So in the instruction, I should have probably put it here because we have it very detailed. And so we want this content to be towards fit. So I'm just reiterating in here that we want it to be fitness coaches. And experience to connect with your audience with, all right. And then we'll hit generate. So we just got to be clear on what we wanted to do. But in this case, again, I want this content to be tailored towards fitness coaches, not just in the hook, but also in the body of the content. And so this is how we would do that. So again, what we're doing here is we're iterating. We're going to regenerate the content. We're iterating on tone. This time we're reiterating towards a target audience like fitness coaches. But again, this could work for like, I'm targeting SaaS companies, I'm targeting agencies, I'm targeting dads who don't like to shop, right? You could change whoever your niche is. So the 3-second rule, why it's key to your fitness marketing. Lately, I've been reflecting on how much time we actually have to grab someone's attention online. Turns out it's just 3 seconds and that's it. Whether it's a caption, a thumbnail, or a short clip, those first few moments decide if someone scrolls past or stays to engage. For fitness coaches, this means every piece of content you create has to hit hard and fast. Imagine this, you craft a 30-second reel showcasing your best workout tips, but the first 3 seconds don't hook your audience. They're gone before they even hear your advice. That's why focusing on attention-grabbing intros and visuals is non-negotiable. I know I'm not the only one who spent hours perfecting content only to wonder why it didn't land. We've all been there. But the good news is small tweaks like leading with a bold statement or an eye-catching image can make all the difference. How do you make your content stand out in those crucial first few seconds? Share your go-to strategies below. And then boom, the hashtags are related towards fitness marketing, content creation tips, and fitness coaches. So it just adapted now my content towards an Instagram caption. So in this case now, what I'd love to do is to actually be able to create some images based on this, right? And so let's create maybe an Instagram carousel post. So I'm going to go ahead and go add card. And I'm going to look up and see images. Actually, before I do that, let me see what comment in the chat before I move on to this next segment. I sometimes give the AI a very original first sentence to rewrite an entire small article. Maybe this works here as well. Something that has a unique perspective. Something like, your clients want results fast. Your clients, so when you try to win them for your content, you need to do it fast as well. Gotcha. So you're saying, yeah, give it just a small snippet and say, hey, finish this and turn it into an article and then create that. That's definitely something that we could do in here as well. That's a great point. It's like what I did here, but you could skip the prompt. You just put this in here and say, hey, go ahead and finish the rest of this caption or post. So let me make sure I copied this. Let's see. I'm going to go ahead and add a card. What I want to do here is I want to create an Instagram thumbnail or a carousel. Do we have a carousel post in here? Yeah, maybe we could do a carousel post first. Let's see. So I've got a long instruction, right? I search for a carousel image. This is the visual insight version, but we have like maybe 20 or 30 different variants of types of images you can create in here, and even more that you can create on your own. And in here, we're asking it to create a 4-slide visual insight carousel based on the video transcript. Each slide must contain a cinematic background image with a gradient overlay. You know, I kind of want to tweak this a bit because I don't want it to... Actually, I'll show you what this looks like by itself. I think that might be a good first step. But what I want to say is, and with, here's the caption that will go with this image. Please adapt to. And what I'm doing is I'm telling it, hey, please use this caption as your insights when generating the images. And so I pasted the entire caption that we had from that card. So now I can go ahead and hit generate to create some images that are based on this content. Now, images could take maybe roughly, roughly 60 seconds. And what's great is that we're going to create 4 at a time. So you'll get to have a couple options to choose from. And then I'll show you how we could actually iterate on the style of the images, because this one's going to do a visual tone with like a scene in the background. But another version we could do is like animated. You could do something like a movie scene. And so we have plenty of options. So here's 4 that it came up with. Every journey begins with a single step. I see what's happening here. So this came up based on the context, but kind of a little bit more about the journey. So every journey begins with a single step, but this kind of shows you some of the quality of the images that could be generated, but we're going to tweak this now. So I could show you what this would end up looking like. All right, so we got a couple here. I'm actually going to go ahead and choose another. I'm going to try to pull in an Instagram. We have this here. That's a pretty interesting one. So what I'm doing here is I'm actually going to get rid of the post and I'm just going to leave the hook, right? So in this case, we're going to say the post is about the 3-second rule, why it's key to fitness marketing. And now I'm going to go ahead and hit generate and see if it tailors it towards that audience. But in this case, now we're going to create 4 visual images that can be leveraged as an Instagram thumbnail image, or an image that you post by itself would be fantastic. And we can also leverage that, also create carousel images. We have lots of options. And so I'll show you what that looks like here. Yeah. So while that's loading, I'll show you guys from a library. I encourage everyone to check in. Like if I just search like images, image prompts, not just prompts, but actual cards that can generate. And we have a whole library. So things from like a blog header images, which is a collage style. You could generate carousel images in a Studio Ghibli style. So I'll do that one if you guys want to see it. Another one that we could do, for example, a YouTube thumbnail. It's got different variations. For all of you that are in music, or maybe you're an AI music creator and you like to create music, we have a whole series of content of what you could do. You could actually take your lyrics, drop that into Alphana, and we'll generate lyric images. And we've got like a dozen different styles, from comic strips to bold typography, retro comic to vintage vinyl. We do that as well with a couple other ones. We've got Instagram thumbnails, other types of YouTube thumbnails like a real object. And so we have a nice library of images that you can leverage. All right, this was the one I should have grabbed first. So thanks everyone for your patience. All right, this is what I wanted. Check this out. Look at the fidelity and how crisp these images look, right? And if you remember, we're talking about 3 seconds to marketing, and it gave me 4 visual options that we could leverage to be able to create. Now, if I click on the first one, look at this. So the 3-second rule. I mean, are you guys seeing this? And so let's look at the prompt, right? Because if you notice, you didn't have to write a prompt. All I told it was what the title was about. And in here, it wrote a close-up of a stopwatch frozen at exactly 3 seconds, with the numbers glowing faintly in a dimly lit gym. The stopwatch is resting on a workout bench, and the text is the 3-second rule. It's subtly, the text 3-second rule is etched into the metal casing of the stopwatch. I mean, look at this. If I zoom in here so you guys could take a look at it, like, look at that. It's perfect, right? As an example for what the prompt says. You are asking, can you remove the text overlays that are created? Yeah, so that's a good point. If you don't want text on the overlays, what I would do is in your prompt, write, do not put any text in the images, right? So you just want to give it instructions. So do you want text or do you not? In a lot of the images, we actually have text baked into it as the prompt. So we're purposefully instructing it to put text into the images. So what you'll want to do is actually just edit the images edit the cards and just remove anything that says to use text in the images. And then guess what? It's not going to put the text in the images most of the time, right? If you like this image and you want to try this one again, go ahead and grab the prompt and then create a new card, a new image, just add that into the project and type this as the prompt so that it could generate you this variation. Tell it very clearly, don't put any text in the images, and it'll get you a result that's pretty similar or a variation of it. So you said because you might want a generated text to be used in your pro editor. So what I just described, just instruct the AI, don't use text, and that way in your editor, you can have it put text for you. That's perfect. While we're here, like, what would be the use case that you would use? So you said you're going to put it in your pro editor. So what are you thinking? You're going to generate images. What were you going to do with it? You would want, okay, so you're saying, yes. So you would generate the images, but you want the text, but you don't want to remove it. Okay, I'll show you a cool storyboard idea that we have in here too. So you're saying you want to generate the images storyboard and then put them into Premiere in order to be able to generate of it. Yeah, so if you want the text, you could do, yeah, it's going to be a little tough right now. What you would do is you would copy the prompt and ask for a version of it without text, or do it with text so you could see what it looks like. Like, for example, if I come over here, you'll see how the text is actually etched in here, like key to fitness marketing. So, really you can only right now remove the text or tell it not to put the text. You could also tell it to come up with a image with a transparent background of just text that you can use in a frame of a prompt. And it can create a PNG with a transparent layer, but again, it might not look like this. So you just have to instruct it in the prompt. So like if I exit here, just here in the prompt, literally tell it what you want. Hey, I need a PNG image with a transparent layer. Here's the text that I want on it. Or tell it, hey, come up with 4 different text overlays that I can use in a video with nice fonts and about this topic of the video, and then let it generate it for you. And then you can download that asset and throw it into Premiere so you can leverage that for you. So that's also an option. So like, here's another one, right? 3 seconds, put a sticky note. Wow, this is actually pretty cool on a locker. So a dramatic scene of a gym locker slightly ajar with the neon light inside casting an eerie glow. A small sticky note on the locker door reads 3 seconds in bold handwriting, while the text why it matters appears faintly illuminated on the locker handle. This is like a movie. I mean, just imagine this was like a movie poster, but this is pretty cool, right? Imagine an asset like this that you can leverage, right? So that's pretty cool. Last but not least, right, a sleek modern pair of running shoes placed on a starting line with a digital timer embedded into the ground showing 3 seconds. The scene is lit with soft, warm lighting, and the text "Fitness marketing starts here" appears subtly stitched on into the side of the shoe. Wow, I don't think you guys could see this, but if I zoom in, tell me if you can see that. Look at that. Right into the heel of this shoe, it says "Fitness marketing starts here." Isn't that's incredible? Look at that. So these are all beautiful images, just like what I'm showing you here. You can leverage this to create new video. You can leverage this as a thumbnail for a video. You can use them as carousel images, so you can throw that onto Instagram with your caption. Or like what Jeff mentioned, like drop this into like Premiere or a video editor, and now you can leverage them to create more video out of it, right? So all really, really cool stuff we could do to be able to leverage this content. And guess what? That pairs nicely with the hooks that we generated. And if I come back here to the Instagram caption, so now those images are relevant and can be used with this caption post. So now you've got a caption, you've got an image that you could use. They're all together, right? And of course, I'm going to show you how we can create more content from it, but I just wanted you guys to see this example. Hey, when I create AI images, I often give it a regional twist. So I say, for instance, if I have somebody doing exercises in a fitness studio, I would say that in the background, a window shows an urban Zurich city scene that gives it a more relatable flair for my clients. So here's what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to copy your exact line, and we're going to edit this one because you know what? I love these, but I'm going to post about, I'm going to say, make sure in the background there is a window that shows an urban Zurich city scene. Okay, I'll let autocorrect fix my, I'll just leave it. Doesn't matter how you write it. Make sure in the background there is a window that shows an urban Zurich city scene. Let's just see what happens, right? Click generate. I'm actually curious, but I think this is a great point. You could regionalize these assets very easily by simply giving it instructions of a location. In this case, he was very clear about, hey, let's make sure there's a window in the scene, right? And it shows an urban Zurich city, but maybe you could say, hey, just make sure that it's evident that you're in Zurich or in a particular city, a state, etc., and it'll leverage it. Can this app generate motion graphics or just still images? Yeah, so right now it does just images. So obviously with a tool like Alphana, you could turn video into other pieces of content. It generates text, obviously. And we have like over 80 different types of content you could do there, blog posts, newsletters, LinkedIn, and we generate image assets like what I'm showing you here. But again, what's cool is that you could generate storyboards, you could generate graphics, YouTube thumbnails, blog post images, scenes for a video. And you could take these images once you're done with it and drop them into like a video AI generator. If you want to use something like Sora from OpenAI, or what's another one? Like Runway, you could drop these scenes as a reference image and now turn those images into a video if you want. So that would be one way you could do it. We don't generate video inside of Alphana right now, but we do give you the images and the scenes that you could leverage to be able to create more content. Check this out, guys. Look what it did here. Like, look how different. It went from these 4 images. It now generated these 4 to tie in Zurich outside the window. What do you guys think? The 3-second rule, look at the city behind it. Like, incredible, right? The urban Zurich cityscape is visible. Let's try one more. Look at this one. Wow, you got the pair of shoes. You got the city in the background. And look at the floor. It's like the key to fitness marketing. Here's another one. You got a laptop, and it's like the 3-second rule. And it's looking right outside the window. Look at that. And last but not least, you got a little timer, why it's key to fitness marketing, a dramatic photorealistic image in a sand-filled hourglass. Look at that. So like the potential is just incredible what it could do, right? Looks quite believable. That's awesome, Matthias. Yeah. Look, there's no limit to what you could do with this. I think there's so many options. So I just want to make sure we're clear, like, what did we do here? We got hooks, which came up with the content. We created the thumbnail, but guys, I'm going to rearrange this project because the caption should go right after, boom. So I just drag and dropped it. Remember, everything here, you could drag and drop, reorder what your workflow looks like in your content. So now I've got hooks. I clicked on here. Now I click here. I've got the caption that's using my favorite hook from that post. We already refined it. Beautiful. And next we created our Instagram thumbnails. And now we've got a variety of options. And guess what? You could throw these in a carousel or you could just post one per day, right? They're all assets. And guess what? They're all yours. You can use them and you could just hit that download button and download a high-res copy to your computer. And of course, we did the first one, we did visual insights. It didn't match up as what we wanted on those, but these are still posts. If you wanted to leverage it for something else, go for it. They're yours as well. But now, because you brought it up, I think storyboarding is a cool idea. We have one that we did for music videos, but it works very similarly for a new video. The only thing is we got to tweak the prompt. And if you guys reach out to me, I'll tweak one for you. You just got to reach out to me in support. Probably, later today or tomorrow, I'll try to publish a version of this that you could do to storyboard for a new video. But I'm just going to go ahead and hit generate so that you guys could see what this example would do, even though it wasn't a music video. Okay, so just bear with me that it's going to say music video. And let me see if I could just say video storyboard for the purpose of this while that's generating. All right, we're generating a video storyboard. Let's see what this looks like. Just remember, the biggest thing is you never have to rely on the first draft that comes in here. Okay? Iterate, tweak it. It's going to come out the way you want it. Sometimes AI doesn't get it right the first time, but once you tweak it, it gives you what you need. All right, look at this. So remember, I did not tweak it, and I should have. I should have tweaked it about fitness, but this is an example of how we just generated 16 scenes for a video. Okay, this is cool if you're creating, this was an example if we were doing a music video, but this could work if you're trying to create a 60-second short form video, product video for your company. Or hey, let's say you're an agency and you're trying to come up with an idea or concept for another client in a video, and based on that video, generate a storyboard concept. If I click in here, let's go a little bit deeper. It breaks out in 4 panels per image, 16 scenes that are all cohesive. And you could see how they start off. And guess what? The prompt tells you exactly what's happening in each of the scenes. So you could change it if you don't like the scenes and the direction that it's going. So like this one's like, hey, design a storyboard based on, in this case, we would say transcript. Panel 1 is a lone traveler stands at the edge of a vast winding path under a cloudy sky, symbolizing uncertainty. Panel 2, the traveler begins walking, their silhouette small against the sprawling road. Panel 3, a close-up of their determined faces as they encounter the first fork in the panel. And then number 4, the traveler chooses the left path with a faint glimmer and a sunlight breaking through the clouds. The asset type is a storyboard. The visual style must be black and white, hand-drawn, consistent with traditional cinematic storyboarding, etc. And so here you go. Here's the next 4 scenes. You can see him here. They're in the forest. We've got another set of scenes. Now they're like climbing a mountain, going down a pathway. You could see it's like thunderstorm and raining. Last but not least, it looks like they made it to a village down a valley and they met up with other people. Perfect. So here's an idea of how you could leverage this, generate a couple storyboard concepts. The one that I want to tweak too is I'm going to go ahead and do another thumbnail. Okay, like the real object, but I want to change the whole thing, and we're going to try like a different type of scene. So Instagram reel style thumbnail based on the transcript, create I'm going to change photorealistic into an Elden Ring cinematic image of an object, space, or setting that metaphorically reflects the meaning of the transcript. What was the title that we just came up with? You know what? Let's just go back. Let me grab this, right? I want this to be relevant to this example. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to paste here the name. And then what we're going to do is try to get this in a different style. So like instead of a photorealistic, I'm going to say an Elden Ring cinematic image of an object. Title of the post to base this on is the 3-second rule, why it's key to your fitness marketing. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to change in the prompt because right now it says, okay, it's an Instagram reel. We want it to focus on a single well-lit object in a physical space, right? Let's see, don't use any stock image or generic objects, obviously. We want to integrate the environment. Let me see. I just want to make sure there's nothing else in here that tells the style, because you don't want to have, Ensure strong visual composition, mood, and professional quality, and styled Elden Ring cinematic. I'm just putting that twice because I want this to be very clear on how I want this content. Now, we could say, make sure there's a window or scene showing this. How did you word this earlier? I actually liked how you did this because I want to try this again, but now I want to try because I think before you say in the background. All right, I'm going to do the same thing so that we can get a similar result. We're going to say make sure the background has a window, right, that shows an urban. I'm going to try, what did you say? BC, Canada, city scene, right? So let's try that. And we don't even have to say, yeah, we could just leave it like that. I'm going to take out urban, a BC, city, Canada scene. All right, let's try this now, right? Because we got a couple of you from different places and I want to be able to incorporate that. Let's go ahead and hit generate. All right, let's see. And we'll let that run. Meanwhile, I'm going to go through some of the questions in the chat. Is there a text limit to what you can input for an original idea for it to storyboard? You could do pretty long prompts, but when you make it too long, it could, sometimes it doesn't get it all right. So you might have to repeat some of the instructions. I would say try to limit it to maybe if you really need a long prompt, like 500 words max, but ideally try to get it anywhere from like 100 to 250 words if you can. But all I would say is, if you have a really long one, go ahead and try it. If you're not getting the results, I would cut it down to, let's just say 300 words as an example. Can you change the sketch storyboard images to photorealistic? Yes, that's a great idea. I could do that for you if you want to see what that looks like. But yeah, all you would do is just say, hey, change everything that says sketched to photorealistic. You could say anime style, whatever style you want. All you have to do is just change the style because I don't think it'll let me edit right now while that's generating. It will. But it's because we're purposefully in here saying to make it black and white and hand-drawn, right? With lightly shaded cinematic sketches. So we want to remove that and change it to the style that you want. And then all I would say is triple check inside here to make sure that nothing else in here says to do it in that style. Okay. Can you share a creation with other team members before publishing? Good. So Noah, you could, the way that you would share in Alphana is up here. We got the share button. And, probably a lot of people forget we have this, but I can click here and say, give anyone with a link view access. And then I can click copy. And so if I come over here, when I share that link, they're only going to get a view only version that they can review. And so here's my project now, right? And if I scroll down, they could expand and they can see. Now I'm logged in, so I see this left sidebar, but all they're going to see are these links here. And they could preview and look at all of the content that was generated that you want to share with that person. So this is the way I would say you could share this with your team. We don't have shared accounts right now, so I can't invite someone to the account, but you could share a project with someone who does not have an Alphana account. And what's cool is that if they want to sign up to Alphana and they want to have it in their account, they can click this duplicate button and that'll clone the project so that they can have it inside of their account as well. So if you're trying to share a project or a template with someone, all you got to do is hit share and then they can come in here and hit duplicate and get a copy of the project. All right, here are the results. Let's see what this looks like. If you remember, we were trying to get a scene out of the Elden Ring. It's a popular game. And so you can see some of the effects of it tries to pull in from something like that. So look at this with the rings at the bottom, right? I don't know if you guys are familiar with the game. We could probably look it up, but this kind of gives you an idea of a vibe. You could do the same for other types of games if you wanted to look a little bit different as well. Here it is. Look at that. It's burned into a weathered scroll. That's pretty cool. And then last but not least, why it's key to your fitness marketing. So if you guys look at what here, I don't know, I haven't been in this part of Canada, but if you guys look in the background, right, we tried to tie in the scenes as well. Look at that, right? So this tried to do what it could to be able to tie it into that scene. So this is with the Elden Ring style. We pretty much covered everything, showed you how you could even change a storyboard concept and you could change the style by just editing the prompt. We have these images in these versions. So beautiful. So I don't know if you guys have any questions or anything else that you'd like to see, but again, today's session was really about how to refine content in Alphana. Take a video, take that asset, and from it, we're going to analyze it. We generate a series of Instagram hooks that you could use. pick your favorite Instagram hook, generate a Instagram caption with that hook like this one. Once you're happy and iterating, hit regenerate, click edit, refine the tone. Then you can go in and create a series of images that you could use. So you could post it on Instagram or any other platform. You could leverage this image as your post. Or like in Jeff's use case, you could take these images and throw them into like a video editing program and turn it into a short video. And so the opportunities are pretty endless with what you could do. Leverage this content, keep creating, create storyboards, create assets. And as you guys are creating, I'd love to see what it is that you guys are making. I think I just really enjoy seeing the work. So if you create some cool images, or as soon as you generate a video off of some of the content you're thinking, go ahead and drop a link inside of our community or shoot it to me in the chat. I'd love to check it out. And I think we got one last question before I drop off. Let's see. I have a little unrelated question. When I have voice snippets created, is there a way I can modify the start and end timing in those clips that have been identified? Okay. So yeah, I mean, when you drop a voice in here, right now we don't have a video editor inside of the platform per se. So when you're editing a video, what I would recommend you do, you'd probably have to edit in the prompt. I don't know if I have a video in here. Let me see if this one is a example. So you can upload the audio and we can find clips, but if you want to change the start and end time, right now, the main way that you could do that is when you click edit, you could either tell it to pick a different duration in the prompt, or what I would recommend is you can, put together the timestamps. So like, let's just say I click here and I want this part of the video. I'm just gonna like come in here and I'll highlight maybe this part of the video. I can click copy timestamps. And then in here, I could say, please clip this portion of the video. And then you paste the timestamp that you copied from here in the sidebar. So this is the way. So you could either manually input the timestamp or copy it from, this sidebar here when you're looking at the transcript, and you can ask it to clip it. So those are the two ways right now. We are working on ways so that you could be able to edit even better, but this would be one way that you can edit that. Yes, you could do that in an editor too. You could use a video editor. Yeah, you could do that here, but definitely easier if you use an editor. You could change the lengths quite easier. He recommends Cyberlink Power Director. Awesome. Check that out. I haven't heard of it. But yeah, so Alphana is going to help you to get the initial content you need. It's going to find you the best clips. It's going to generate all these images. But remember, these are all workflows that you create, and you could turn them into templates by hitting here, save as template. And then now you could reuse that workflow hundreds of times, right? That's the beauty of it, right? Set up all the content workflows you want to create, drop that into Alphana, and that'll leave you with everything you need. Thank you all very much for your time. That was this session of Insider Live. Guys, if you're on YouTube, or if once we publish this video, I want you to hit the like button and drop a comment. It's so important for us, and subscribe to our channel because the YouTube algorithms love that. And that helps us. That helps us to get this in front of more people, and that would really appreciate it. So hit the like button, drop a comment, subscribe. And again, I'm Sebastian Mora. I am the CEO and co-founder of Alphana. So if you need anything at all, please don't hesitate to reach out. I love you all. Thank you so much. And I hope you have a great rest of your day. Bye-bye.